to Vlogmas Day 10. Here I am in my emotional support sweatshirt. I didn't do anything today, y'all. I took care of some stuff for Julian, but that was pretty much it. And that's not stuff I can record, obviously. So I figured y'all can watch me color and we can just talk. Hopefully I'm loud enough because I do not have a mic for this phone. I have to get one. I have a mic. It's not for this phone. It was for my last phone that I had. So hopefully I'm loud enough. I got this little coloring book from Dollar Tree. Probably at the top of the year, I started coloring this picture when I got it, and I just never finished it, but regardless, we're gonna move on to another picture. We can do the peace sign, because we need to have some peace today. All right, we're just gonna chit chat. So, like everybody else, I assume that all the girls have been keeping up with the internet drama these days. I've been on TikTok, not all day, but off and on all day. And I did not post on TikTok, but I was like, child, I should just talk about it here without like being messy about it. Long story short, the creators are beefing. And it was one thing, and then it grew into something else. And a really big creator here on YouTube kind of injected herself in the situation. And so it has basically backfired on her. And I just want to give my little input. The idea that what they call yappers, or like aren't content creators, is ridiculous to me. Like, even the videos where I'm sitting down talking, which these days, that's usually my book reviews. If I'm sitting down talking, I don't, and when I say talking, I mean like opinion-based conversation. I don't mean, how to raise an autism child, how to be married, I don't mean that kind of stuff. I mean like, child, let me tell you what I think about this. When I do that, that's mostly on here. That's mostly my book reviews. Now, I do have a TikTok that I yap on. I don't post on it frequently. And then I have a second TikTok that I do book content on that I also do not post on frequently. But I do have it. But on here, this is my most consistent platform. It's where I post the most, or have the most content posted, I should say. That's a better way to say that. And my book reviews would definitely be qualified as yapping. I'm yapping about a book, but yapping nonetheless. And I just felt like this content creator kind of alluded to the fact that the girls who yap aren't contributing anything to social media. Like, they don't have anything of substance to give. And I don't know how true this is, because I have this content creator blocked. I did unblock her today just to watch a clip. I didn't watch the whole video. I couldn't do it because I have her blocked. You know what I'm saying? And you ever watch somebody's content and you're like, dang, this is why I blocked you on my FYP. That's kind of how I felt about the video. So I didn't finish it. I'm just like, child, please. And I left. But it kind of came out very like highbrow. Like, I'm better than you. Like, you can't compete with me. And kind of like, it kind of felt like she was like calling this group of creators ignorant, for lack of a better word. Because if you're ignorant, you're You're uneducated about a topic. You're ignorant. She was calling him basically ignorant. And, you know, trying to differentiate what she does versus the yapper content, I guess. And here's my thoughts on that. I feel like if everybody on the internet is yapping, unless you are doing like all silent videos, we're all on here to yap. We're all on here to get paid. Well, I don't get paid, but that's the end goal. You know what I'm saying? For most people, to get paid. Nobody wants to do something for free that they could be doing and getting a check for. Right? Right. But what I didn't like, and I'm sorry, I know this week it's been sounding like I'm breathing hard. I am congested. My son had a cold, a light cold, and so I've basically been real stocked up all week, and I'm so sorry about it. I've been watching my videos back, and I'm like, geez, it sounds like I can't breathe, and it's because I'm congested. So I've been drinking my water and trying to like clear it, but whatever. I say that to say, even if you're doing your makeup in a video, if you're talking about talking as you do it, like get ready with me style videos where you're doing your makeup, that's still yapping. I don't know. I just didn't like the connotation that because these people are talking, they don't do what I do. They don't contribute what I contribute. And like I told you, I have this content creator, this specific content creator blocked. So you no longer contributed anything for me. You know what I'm saying? I outgrew her content a while ago. But I don't know. It just came out very highbrow. It came out very superiority complex. And the problem with that, to me, is you weren't invited into this conversation. You had I don't want to say issue because it felt very like a one-sided issue. You had some static for someone in this group of creators months ago. Everybody has moved on from that thing since then. I don't know, and it felt like you were kind of like, oh, people are talking about her. Now's my time to shine. And it felt like you were just like, I'm jumping in this race too. For no reason at all. Because whatever your static was with this person, once again, was months ago. So you did what you did. You said what you said. Everybody is making their think pieces. And here I am making mine. But I don't know. I just didn't like, I don't know. I just feel like I could see if the people were talking about you and you got on defense mode because they're sitting on the internet talking about you. But nobody was actively talking about you. And that's really why you got on defense, because you aren't the topic of the conversation. You know how some people can't stand for somebody else to shine? That's kind of what it felt like. And I also felt like this about this specific creator when another creator in her same realm got married. It kind of felt like that then too. But what do I know? What do I know? I will say, I think overall, I have outgrown. And I've been watching YouTube since 2011. And this is back when me and my sisters would only watch dance videos on YouTube. But I feel like as I've gotten older, I do not enjoy influencers the way I used to when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll still watch some of my favorites, but I look at a lot of them now and I'm just like, no thanks. I'm not interested in this. No thank you. Now, I like content creators, which I think is different. I think influencers create content, yes. But all content creators are not influencers. For the most part, all influencers are content creators. But all content creators are not influencers. You can come on social media. You can get paid for social media. You can create content on social media, even if it's just you yapping. That's still content. But if you aren't like trying to convince somebody to buy something, you aren't trying to convince somebody to think the way you think, you're not trying to influence them. Like, influencing involves creating content to convince someone to align with whatever you're selling in that video, whether that's whatever your talking point is in that video. And like I said, as somebody who's been watching YouTube or, for over 10 years, I've been making videos on YouTube since 2018. And so I've seen the change. You know what I'm saying? And I think that overall, I just don't enjoy influencers the way I used to. I still have my tried and true that I watch. But for the most part, I kind of just like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of influencers who were so, and I'm not saying they have to be relatable. That's not what I'm saying. I feel like if you was only making like, what's a realistic amount of money a year? We're only making like $40,000, $50,000 a year. And now you are bringing in close to $1 million a year or $500,000 a year, or off influence alone you're making 6 plus figures a year. I don't expect you to still be relatable. I expect for you to live in a nice area. I expect for you to have a nice car. I expect for you to, have a nice life. Hell, I expect for you to date a certain kind of man who can afford your lifestyle without you doing social media influencing. But I feel like what a lot of influencers do is when they reach a certain status, they become like, it's like they're not celebrities in that way. So it's like they try to celebrity themselves from supporters. You get what I'm saying? Like, the thing that drew a lot of us to, I'm going to say YouTube, because YouTube is the OG platform in terms of like content creation. We're not talking about the crush spots and Black Planets, and this was obviously before people was like really blowing up on Facebook and whatnot. But well, about the same time, but y'all get what I'm saying. One of the things you liked about, like, for example, I'm gonna say a YouTuber who I still watch and I interact on her platform. Like, if she posts a video, I'll comment on the video, and that is this YouTuber by the name of All of Destiny. Okay, now I watch her because she is so relatable, right? At the time was so relatable, okay? And we were in college at the same time. I think she's like, I'm 31. She might be maybe 32, 33. We're really close in age. I can't remember exactly how old she is. But I started watching her because we were in college at the same time. And I liked that she wasn't this girl who at the time was name brand out. She wasn't this girl who was driving a luxury vehicle. She wasn't this girl who was on social media living in what would be deemed as luxury apartments. Like, that just wasn't the vibe she gave. And I'll say the same is true for a good amount of people who I follow. But I'm just speaking to her on her specifically because I still watch everything she uploads. And now here we are. I don't know when I started watching her, but let's say 10 years later. Let's say I started watching her in 2014. That's about right. And here we are 10 years later, and she's had the luxury vehicles. She's bought a nice house. Like, she's buying more expensive luxury goods, more expensive, luxury items. The whole thing, whatever. But what I like about her platform is that even in that, she does not come across as the girl who's interested in making you feel like she is now on this unattainable level. And I feel like that's what a lot of YouTubers do, specifically. I'm just speaking on YouTube because that's what I watch the most. Where they're not big enough to be celebrities, but they're big enough to where you would get excited if you saw them in person. I wouldn't. I'm not that person. But for a lot of people, if so-and-so is their favorite creator and they saw their favorite creator in person, they might fan out about that. They might get really excited. They might run up to them and ask them to take a picture with them or something, you know? And I feel like once that started happening, once influencers kind of saw that was possible, a lot of influencers took this approach of like separating from supporters in that way. And so, I don't know, it almost comes across on what happened on social media today. It almost came across of like, these girls are beneath me so I can say what I want to say. That's kind of how it felt. I don't know, it was just crazy to me. And I say that to say, that's why I don't be, I do not be messing with these influencers. I do not be interested. I have removed a good amount of influencers from my social media. Like I said, this particular influencer that had this drama popping off on TikTok today, I blocked her months ago because I saw the writing on the wall. And this is not me saying you should not level up your life. This is not me saying that. But what I'm saying is there's a difference between you leveling up your life and still encouraging Black women to feel like your life is attainable, if that makes sense, versus you leveling up your life and then treating other Black women specifically, or content creators who happen to create content differently from you, you basically treat them like shit on the bottom of your shoe. And I just am not interested in that. So I've let go of the mystique, you know what I'm saying, and the allure that I felt that influencers had. Because it just doesn't, it's not helpful in any way. And I don't know how true this is, but some people were in the comments saying that this particular content creator was calling these other creators uneducated because they use profanity, basically, I guess. And it's like, all of the people she was calling uneducated have college degrees. And to my knowledge, she does not have a college degree. Not saying college degrees or people with degrees are better than people who don't have college degrees. But it's interesting to call somebody with a college degree uneducated when you yourself do not have a college degree. I just think that's weird. And it lends itself to like, my dad always makes this joke, okay? Me and all of my sisters are college graduates. Our degrees range from bachelor's, master's, doctorate, but we all have college degrees. And we all speak in AAVE. We all speak, unless we're in a professional setting, then obviously we code switch. But like how I'm talking to y'all right now, that's how we talk. That's how we talk. I don't know why talk came out like that. That's how we talk. And so my dad would sometimes make the joke of like, that's how you speak with a college education. And it's like, yeah, that's how I talk. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, we'll use a double negative here and there if we're not in a professional setting, or we'll like say ain't, you know, like stuff like that. But that doesn't invalidate the fact that we are all educated. That does not invalidate the fact that we all attained higher education. Like, and I just feel like somebody using profanity or AAVE does not negate the fact that they're educated. I don't know. It just sounded very shallow. And I just feel like a lot of people, once they amass a certain following, they kind of have like a cult-like following with their supporters. And no matter what they do or say, they are seen as the victim. And it's like, how are you the victim when you have, and number one, inserted yourself into something that had absolutely nothing to do with you? And number two, not only did you insert yourself in it, but you made yourself the victim in the situation that you weren't involved in. And then you have people who support you, you know, coming out to say, oh, she can speak her truth. And it's like, yeah, but that truth isn't valid. It wasn't valid when it was the truth. And it's not valid now, months later, when a whole nother topic is going on. And there's been this topic of like dog piling on TikTok. And I think that people are stupid because TikTok is all about talking about what's trendy. That's all TikTok is about. I mean, aside from like doing your cute dance, you know, funny videos, little shorts, whatever. Aside from that, people who yap on TikTok, they're talking about that's the refrigerator. Y'all hear that? They just clicked the motor or whatever, just clicked on. They're talking about what's trending on TikTok. Like, I don't make videos that often. The most I made videos was when Escape's show was on, and what's her name? Tamika was talking about Tasha stealing her money. And it was because that was trendy at the time, because that's what was going on TV. That's what was trending on TikTok, because everybody was watching the show and talking about Tasha stealing that, what was it, $30,000 or whatever, from Tamika. So everybody was talking about it. So what do? You add your 2 cents. That's not dogpiling. That's talking about the trending topic. It's no different from on YouTube back in the day. If ColourPop came out with something new, all of the makeup gurus, I don't call them gurus, but the makeup girls, were talking about that same ColourPop eyeshadow, that same ColourPop foundation, that same ColourPop is better than Kylie Cosmetics, or whatever the heck was the topic at the time. Just because, let's say it's all positive, $6 eyeshadows. Just because all the commentary is positive doesn't mean that that's not the same thing that's happening. You just don't like it when you're on the negative receiving end of said commentary. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's dogpiling. It just means that that's what's trendy. So people are talking about it. And I think another thing people forget is when you post content anywhere, especially on your platform is public and you post content, you open yourself up to criticism. And you can't say you can't criticize me. Yes, I can, because you put it out here for me to do that. That just is what it is. That's what happens when you invite people into your space. When you post videos publicly, you invite that energy into your space. That's just what it is. But I will say, that particular creator is not the only creator who behaves that way. A lot of them do it, especially the people who have amassed big followings. And when I say big followings, I mean the people who have like 500,000 plus subscribers for the most part. The people who have hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram, hundreds of thousands of followers on Twitter, hundreds of thousands or millions of followers on, TikTok. A lot of them do it. They operate from this space of, oh, you just want clout off my name, or, oh, you're a troll. You really don't have reason to not like me. You just a troll. And it's like, okay, if somebody is using your name in a video as clickbait to get clout, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? When, I don't know, Two-Face or whomever didn't have a shade range that worked, and you made a video about that, you got clout. I don't know. I think that, it goes back to that I'm bigger than you thing, because at one point or another, everybody's a small influencer. Unless you were born celebrity, you know what I'm saying, and pop up on the scene, like, I don't know. Let's say this. If like Blue Ivy randomly at 18 decides to make an Instagram or YouTube or something, and it randomly blows up because she is who she is. Unless you that kind of person, everybody at one point or another is going to be a small creator. Everybody doesn't start. Like, it's not like when you sign up for Instagram, sign up for YouTube, sign up for TikTok, sign up for Twitter, sign up for Facebook, you get an automatic 100,000 plus subscribers or followers. So at some point or another, everybody is small. I think the thing that's important to remember is how you felt when you were that small creator or smaller creator. But yeah, I think that a lot of these influencers today are out of touch AF. And I don't engage in that kind of stuff. I really don't. Anyway, I only wanted this video to be about a half hour. I ain't gonna talk your head off while I draw that much or color that much. This is what we got. This is how far we got. We didn't get far at all. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff down below. I hope you guys enjoy this random impromptu art class. A little art session. Again, this Vintage Designs to Color book came from Dollar Tree. I have their little cheap liquid mark color pencils. I don't like these. They don't show very well. I like them. I think they're very durable, but I don't like the color of the pencils. Julian has a whole container full of Crayola supplies in terms of markers, color pencils, and crayons. But he's asleep and they're in his room. So I had to make do with my little rinky-dink color pencils. Anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow. Good night.